So, I'm John Alsop.
And I'm Jo Bell, UK Canal Laureate and so forth.
You didn't tell me you were going to say that.
No, you didn't ask.
No. And this is Johnny's in the Wardrobe with Jo Bell, the Canal Laureate. What's a laureate anyway?
It means you get a free lorry.
That's great. That's great. What do you put in your lorry? No, don't answer that. That's a stupid question.
That you get a crown of laurel leaves for being a jolly good poet. Or, in my case, a 2-year contract from the Poetry Society and the Canal and River Trust for writing poems about canals and rivers.
When do you expire?
I get defrocked at the end of this year, I think. Although they said that last year and they haven't defrocked me yet, so I think they might just keep on with me until I give them their money's worth at last.
You will have to get good at darning with all that frock lasting so long.
I know, me smock.
But I did seriously wonder what a laureate is, because I wondered whether it was partly to do with promoting poetry, not just being a good poet, because the poet laureate seems to go around going poetry's the thing.
That's her job. No, originally it means that it's the thing that was given to you at the Olympics, because poetry was one of the original Olympic events, and so you got a crown of laurels to say that you were jolly good at poeting. And so really it's an award that's supposed to denote that you're good at it. But nowadays it does mean they want you to do a bit of ambassading. And Carol Ann is the world's best poetry ambassador as our poet laureate. So she goes about being a fantastic ambassador as well as a fantastic poet. And I think I'm supposed to do a bit of that as well for the canals and rivers and, spread the word.
So can you be a poet laureate for other things apart from the waterways?
You can be a poet laureate for Cheshire. I've done that. You can do it, You can be a poet laureate for Derbyshire, like my friend Helen Mort. Most of them are for counties or cities. So there's a Birmingham poet laureate, and I can't remember who the current one is. But a great many counties now have a laureate, and the odd city like Milton Keynes, who have my friend Mark Neal as their poet laureate of Milton Keynes. Did you know that?
Fantastic.
Yeah. They should have one for Long Eaton, your hometown.
They definitely should. And so is this? So it sounds like councils fund it. It's not. Does it come from the Arts Council?
It varies.
Does it come from like local council or what?
Some of them are councils, and they're not always the best schemes. The Cheshire one and the Derbyshire one are ace because they have decent, wonderful people choosing them. But sometimes a laureate is chosen by the people who read the local newspaper, for instance.
All right, okay. That's going to go down well.
That's going to go down well. They tend to go for the boy stood on the burning deck type poetry.
Yes.
And Carol Ann, Her Majesty.
Limerick
there was a young lady from Scunthorpe, that sort of thing. Whereas your actual poet laureate gets chosen officially by Queenie.
By people who know what they're doing.
By people who know what they're doing.
Fantastic.
Obviously, that's why they've got Carol Ann and not me.
That's a good thing.
But it's supposed to be the Queen what confers that great honour on you.
Ooh. You've got a good set of ears.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When did you first know that you were a poet?
Ooh, that's a good question. When did I know? It came to me from the Lord that I was a poet.
Not the burning bush story again.
Yeah, I know, sorry about that. Yes, I must put that out. I wrote poetry as a kid. I think somebody said to a famous poet, possibly Roy Fisher, when did you start writing poetry? And he said, when did you stop writing poetry? Because we all write poetry as kids at some level. And then we stop. And in my case, I stopped when I discovered boys, and they got in the way of most important or productive activities in my life till I was about 30. And then I realised I actually might have something to say, and I started about boys mostly, because I hadn't discovered boats at that time.
Okay.
And then later I discovered boats and started writing about them. So I started writing properly about 30, I think. Really.
So what? Have you written a poem lately?
No, that's the rewind bit. No, I hardly ever write poems now. I'm too busy being a poet to actually write any poems.
Right. So is it like a band has a creative period and writes a load of really good songs, and then you get to the kind of second and third album, and
the difficult third album,
the performances are of all the stuff that everybody knows and loves.
Yes, and I am. Thank you, John. At that stage now.
Are you? Fantastic.
Well, no, I've done book 1 and been trading on that for a while. I'm here in residence in this little nice village where we're filming this to finish book 2. And then I will
When's
have run
that going
out
to be
of...
out?
That's going to be out. I'm glad you asked me that question.
Is it a Christmas book?
No, alas no. It's going to be called Kith, and it's going to be out... Don't pull a face like that. It's going to be called Kith. It's a great title. It's going to be out in spring 2015 with 9 Archers Press at a very reasonable price.
That's an awfully long time away
Yes.
to wait. So
Yes.
what's the other book that we could buy?
Oh, you could buy Navigation, which is my first book. There are 100 copies of it in the boot of my car. But there are
So
also...
how do we do that?
There are also... So, well, if you don't happen to see me passing in my car, you could go to Moormaid Press, which is run by my friend Ailsa, and buy a copy there. Moormaid, it's like Mermaid, but she lives on the moors, you see?
I see. I
She's a
do
clever
see.
woman.
That's very good. Have I got any other questions? Should me and my partner get a dog?
I don't know. What size of dog are you thinking?
A golden retriever.
No, that's too big. Get a small one, because
I
then...
like small dogs.
Because, yes, but you have a secret plan to live on a boat, so you need a small dog that will go under the bridges when it's sitting on the roof. A golden retriever will not do that, you see. Yeah, you see.
That's cute. It could spatchcock on the top.
That's what they have to do,
3
really.
inches.
Yeah. Whereas a
And
golden
just-
retriever is
and-
A, very large, and B, very stupid. And so they
But we
you know,
kinda
it'll
like,
be, well, it'll be decapitated, and that'll spoil everybody's day. See?
Wow. Be alright.
So small dog.
Get another one.
Press
I-
like now if you think John should get a small dog.
I had lots of brilliant questions to ask you, and I've forgotten them all.
I've forgotten them all.
Do you want to ask me a question, and then we'll finish?
Why do you do this?
It's for the fame.
Oh, yes, I expect so. And the glamour. That's very much why I do the
glamour.
poetry thing. Also for the
glamour.
groupies, I expect. I get, when I write
You get a
about
lot of those on YouTube.
beating them off with a shitty stick myself, I get a certain number of groupies for my boat poetry who are mostly elderly gentlemen in boiler suits. It's not what I'm looking for,
That's
frankly.
kind of lesbian, but kind of not.
Kind of not. Mostly not, actually.
Fair
Yes,
enough. Okay. Well, that should end there, really.
I think so.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
It's been
you.
a delight.